This is a screenshot, literally a screenshot from our bank account this morning. Holy smokes, I cannot believe what the CFO of OpenAI just said. And keep in mind, I'm gonna play this for you. She was the CEO of Nextdoor, you know, that like kind of annoying neighborhood app that everybody gossips on. She also worked as the CFO over at a Square, now known as Block, anyway. And now she's at OpenAI, so she gets around corporate positions. Now, but what's really wild is they're basically asking for a bailout. They're kind of like, yeah, you know, if the government gave us a bailout, you know, we wouldn't mind. We're not saying that the government is offering us a bailout or even considering it. We're just saying we wouldn't mind. And I'm like, what? Now, you have to see it to believe it, because it's not just that, but I'm also going to talk to you about some crazy potential stock moves. And I'm not talking about like day trade move. I'm talking about like long-term wise. There's something that I saw that's kind of wild, and it is related to AI, and you need to know about it. Regarding more day tradey, this was insane, dude. This was absolutely insane. This is a screenshot of a very brief summary of our alpha report, because we make a little summary of our alpha report. And this morning, I'm like, guys, 6:27 today. In another part of the alpha report, I wrote, end of day, 6:27. We were at 6:18 when we wrote this. Maybe even 6:30 again by Friday, I wrote. And look at this. We made it within 52 cents of 6:27. We went from 6:18. The amount of people who printed money on call options, and like people were donating in the live chat this morning going, dude, I just like 3x paid for the alpha report. So if you don't have it yet, seriously, consider getting it just for extra perspective, right? Can't guarantee, obviously, but get it. Meetkevin.com. You know, it's awesome. I'd love to have you in the alpha report. But listen to this. This is just wild.
OpenAI at our core are the model company that needs always to be the state of the art. That's what we've done time and time again.
We are so good at spending that we have to keep spending because of our turtlenecks that need the money.
GPT-5 is no exception, but even in areas like open source, we're attempting to put the state-of-the-art model always out into the world.
No limit.
And in order to do that, we always want to be on the frontier chip. So the question is, how long does a chip remain on the frontier? Is it 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, or even longer? Now, in a world where we have...
That statement is a reference to depreciation curves. Okay, if you don't know what this means, that is totally understandable. Most people don't, and it's fine. I'm gonna give you like the 5-year-old explanation over the next 30 seconds here. Okay, this isn't a pitch, it's an explanation. If the chip equals 2 year, then worthless. Then when you buy it, you spend $100 on chip, $50 cost year 1, $50 cost year 2, now worth 0. Okay, understand that if a chip has a 2-year depreciation schedule, that is after 2 years it's worthless, you're gonna have massive expenses. Like, you think the expenses are big right now at Microsoft or Amazon or Meta, the expenses would be 4x as expensive as what we're seeing right now. Now, we could see some of it in the cash flow statement, right? But on the income side, these companies' EPS would be getting destroyed. When you butter it out like this, you actually only tell the world, hey, we're only gonna charge that to our income statement, but we're gonna show both on our cash flow statement, right? If you can butter it out over 4 years, then it would look like this, right? So to 25, that would be year 4, year 3, right? So you buy a chip today for $100, you're only putting on your income statement that it's costing you 25 this year, 25 next, right? This is a basic depreciation schedule. Now, if you're gonna lend against the chip, you want to have some collateral. So if you're gonna lend against the chip that only has a 4-year life, you might want your money back. You're 50% down, you might want it back by year 2, the end of year 2, right? If the chip has a 10-year life, you might be okay financing out to 5 years, 50% of the collateral value, right? Right now, we're still seeing old chips that actually have long depreciation curves, but the question is, how long will it last? The reason we have these longer curves right now is frankly because the supply is constrained. It's not that Amazon doesn't know how to make good trainee processors. I call them the trainee processors. They're trainium processors. I shouldn't say that. It's not that, Google doesn't know how to make good TPUs, the tensor, core processors. It's not that AMD doesn't know how to make good chips. It's that NVIDIA has the freaking moat on the factory line. Like literally, you're playing Mario Party, okay? And NVIDIA is taking all the damn watermelons. And you're like, bro, let me have some. They're like, nah, bro, I got 80% of this contract, man. Y'all could split the other 20%. And then you're looking at the factory owner going, bro, make other manufacturing lines. And they're like, bro, you realize it takes us like 3 years to make up another line of watermelons. And it's like, well, damn. This is how NVIDIA gets the margins.
No compute, or compute constrained. We are absolutely using chips that have like A100 equivalents that have been around like maybe 6-7 years at this point in time. If that's the case, financing chips gets a lot easier. If the timeline on the chip stays short, that gets harder. And so this is where we're...
Keyword. If the timeline on the chips stays short. If you actually listen to that closely, you realize that she didn't say, if it becomes short, we're screwed. She says, it is short. Listen to it again, because it's really important. I'll just go right here.
Like maybe 6-7 years at this point in
6,
time.
7.
If that's the case, financing chips gets a lot easier. If the timeline on the chip stays short, that gets harder. And so this is where we're looking for an ecosystem of banks, private equity, maybe even governmental, the ways governments can come to bear.
Meaning like a federal subsidy or something?
Meaning like just first of all, the backstop, the guarantee that allows the financing to happen.
Wait. Listen to that. You literally had the Wall Street Journal going, wait. So you're all saying you want some stimmy checks, which is fine. That's what China does. You know? Companies are like, hey, we'll do humanoid robots. And then China's like, we don't want your shit. I don't know why they sound like angry Germans, but whatever, we'll go with it. And then all of a sudden, China looks around and goes, what are the Americans doing? Oh, damn. Look at that Optimus robot in the distance. Go make the robots now. We will shower you with subsidies. Again, I don't know why my Chinese accent is angry German, but whatever. So, that's how China operates, with subsidies. Like, we will subsidize this. We'll take an ownership stake, whatever. That's very much the communist way, is we will guide the means of production. Cool. Now, that's not what she said. She actually said, nah, we don't want stimulus. We want you to guarantee that in the event we go bankrupt because we suck at spending money, and we just blow it all because we have such a high ego with our turtlenecks that we need to be at the frontier of everything. So in the event that we go bankrupt, or, the stock plummets, not unlike a company that she used to work for or be the CEO of, like, so choking on myself here. Nextdoor Holdings, a $666 million market cap. Bro, you can't make this shit up sometimes. You just can't make it up. Down over 83%. I'm sorry. It was not my stock. I didn't make it go down. Yeah, she was the CEO, at least for some of the period. Maybe it wasn't her fault. I don't know. Fine. Let's go to a different company. Let's go to Block. She was the CFO over there. Now I understand why the CFO of OpenAI wants a backstop in case they go bankrupt.
That can really drop the cost of the financing, but also increase the loan to value, so the amount of debt that you can take on top of an equity.
More debt! Right, because if you butter out the collateral value, they'll finance more for longer. What she's saying, I understand. Why she's saying it is the concern.
Portion for
some federal backstop for chip investment.
Exactly. And I think we're seeing that. I think the U.S. government in particular has been incredibly forward-leaning, has really understood that AI is almost a national strategic asset, and that we really need to be thoughtful when we think about competition with, for example, China. Are we doing all the right things to grow our AI ecosystem as fast as possible?
Are you talking to the White House about how to further formalize that kind of backstop?
We're always being brought in by the White House to give our point of view as an expert on what's happening in the sector, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Should we, is there something in the works that's tangible?
Nothing, no. I love you, Sarah, but nothing to announce. Nothing that's going on right now.
If you wanted to, we're here to listen.
All right. Wow. Now, What else? Remember how I talked to you about stonks? Okay, a couple other things, and you can follow me at RealMeKevin. Just make sure, like, I don't think you're gonna see all my tweets. I'm pretty sure Elon silences me, but it's fine. So Microsoft is now advertising Copilot on Elon Musk's X. I wrote, this was not on my bingo board. I feel like this opens up an entirely new revenue stream for big platforms. I wanna talk about this. By the way, this was insane as well. Have you seen this? I wrote, this is insane. This is a screenshot, literally a screenshot from our bank account this morning. This is a screenshot of money into one of our operating accounts. It includes 0 rent revenue, because that goes into a separate account, QuickBooks. And this is almost all fundraising, almost all. A, I'm insanely grateful, but B, holy smokes. And this is before we launched the AI product. Now, obviously, this is not a solicitation, but like, look at this. 4 days into November, $800,000. Look at the moving average here. Last 3-month average, 1.1 mil. This is just money going in to the house hack account. That's the house hack bank account. It's insane. Dear investors in SEC, this is not a solicitation to invest. Read the offering circular. Investing comes with risk. Go to househack.com or reinvest.co to learn more about investing. You earn a 5% yield, upside in the stock. We pay out the yield monthly, and you get that yield through conversion. Okay, we get it. So now, the thing that was wild, I wanted to say that, especially on this AI topic, but look at this. Because if you go to reinvest.co, you see the AI thing that they're working on, which is amazing. I was just looking at it again. I feel like this, by the way, with Copilot advertising on X kind of opens a whole new form of revenues. We're gonna have to analyze this in our alpha report, but this is actually totally insane. Like TikTok, YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, Netflix, Meta, Amazon Prime. The next logical step in AI might actually be going from power and compute and those constraints to being human constrained, so you start fighting for users. I mean, why is Microsoft literally begging for users on X? Because that's where the margins are, man. Getting people to sign up for Copilot. Annual recurring revenue, baby, ARR! At the same time as OpenAI is asking for a freaking bailout. What the heck? They're pre-asking for a bailout. It's a pre-bailout. Not because they're going bankrupt, but because their lenders are starting to go, nah, too much risk. This is nuts. Anyway, check out the alpha report at mekevin.com. Check out Househack or Reinvest, it's just a DBA of the other, over at househack.com or reinvest.com. We'll see you there.
Why not advertise these things that you told us here? I feel like nobody else knows about this.
We'll try a little advertising and see how it goes.
Congratulations, man. You have done so much. People love you. People look up to you.
Kevin Paffrath there, financial analyst and YouTuber. Meet Kevin. Always great to get your take.